Welcome back to Gumball Sports Machine, the show in which we laugh, we hug, we cry, we smile, and most importantly, we are positive. I am indeed rocking out solo dolo tonight, so you're stuck with me. For some of you, that may be a good thing. For most of you, it's probably a very, very bad thing that you're seeing nobody else's face, but yours truly's. That's what we're doing tonight. I am rocking out dolo. I hope you all are having an amazing day. Amazing. What's today? Friday. Amazing Friday. I hope you all are having an amazing Friday. I am here to hopefully lighten that Friday up even more if it's already not lightened up enough. And well, we talk sports on this YouTube channel. So I feel like we should get into some sports. Green Bay and Washington, Thursday night football was last night. The Green Bay Packers did indeed defeat the Washington Commanders 28-17. Okay, I had a few takeaways from this game. My first takeaway is that the Packers defense, oh boy. The Packers defense, after acquiring Micah Parsons, is looking very, very scary. It's looking scary. Listen, you lose Kenny Clark. I understand that. He is indeed one of the best defensive tackles in football. But then you bring in Micah Parsons, who's not one of the best edge rushers in football. He's one of the best defensive players in football. You bring him in. He was on Jaden Daniels' tail the entire night. Jaden Daniels went to sleep wondering and watching his back because Micah Parsons was chasing him. He was brushing his teeth, looked up and thought he saw Micah Parsons in the mirror. The whole night, Micah Parsons was chasing that man. I feel sorry for him. No, listen, I want somebody to chase me the way that Micah Parsons was chasing Jaden Daniels. Didn't nobody else want Jaden Daniels more than Micah Parsons did yesterday? That's just what it is. And Jaden Daniels paid for it. Now, he was only sacked 3 times, so he was able to get the ball away and get the ball out quickly. Didn't have the best game, obviously. The offense couldn't get anything going. The score was a lot closer than the game really was. If you watch the game, the Packers really dominated this whole thing. I mean, from start to finish, they dominated. Jordan Love made a great throw, Romeo Dobbs on after a 96-yard touchdown drive, and then follow that up with a 92-yard touchdown drive and finish it off with a Josh Jacobs touchdown. The Green Bay Packers look very scary. Now, I picked them to win the NFC North, and I absolutely do believe that they're going to do that because of how well that they've played so far. I mean, they've played the Lions, who won the NFC North last season, and then they played the Commanders, who were in the NFC Championship game last season, and they've looked dominant against both of those teams. It wasn't even necessarily close against either of those teams. And that is what the Packers are looking like right now, a dominant football team that could absolutely contend for an NFC championship. Now, the Eagles are going to have to say something about that. Obviously, they're the defending champs. They are, looking to run it back. But the Packers are going to have to say something about that. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the Packers do for the rest of the season and how they really just continue to play. I mean, they had a very, very balanced offensive attack. When you look at Josh Jacobs, now, D'Lo had mentioned the other night when we were talking, Josh Jacobs is the heart of this offense. This offense goes as Josh Jacobs goes. Now, that very well may be true. I might have to disagree with that, though. I think Jordan Love, you lose Jordan Love, you lose your season, period. You lose Jordan Love, you lose your entire season. Josh Jacobs is amazing. He is one of the best backs in football. But if you lose Josh Jacobs, you can still contend for a playoff spot. You can still make the playoffs. You lose Jordan Love, good night. See you later, sayonara. That's just what it is. That's how good Jordan Love is. I picked him to win the MVP this year. And so far, now I understand it's been 2 weeks and something could change. Today's only Friday. Week 2 really is on Sunday. So many things could change. But so far right now, Jordan Love might be the front runner for MVP. He just might. He's looked fantastic. Micah Parsons, I talked about him again a minute or two ago. He might have been the biggest acquisition in at least 5 years. The only acquisition I could have thought that have had more of an impact, at least this early, was Matthew Stafford. And that's when they traded when the Lions traded Matthew Stafford to the Rams and he won a Super Bowl in his first year. I have no doubt in my mind that the Green Bay Packers can absolutely contend for a Super Bowl this year. Now, are they going to win? Are they going to go to the Super Bowl? I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you, and nobody could tell you. But right now, the way they look with Micah Parsons on that defense, they look like a different defense. They are rushing the passer. Rashawn Gary isn't getting all the attention now. He's getting one-on-one matchups because you have to look over at one and said, okay, where is he at? 52, Rashawn Gary is no longer the main primary target for opposing offensive lines. It is, where is Parsons with one on his jersey? That's what we're looking for. We stop him, then we worry about everybody else, which is opening up opportunities for Rashawn Gary. And Rashawn Gary is absolutely taking advantage of it. He's looked good. The Packers pass rush has looked very, very good to begin this season. And that's going to be huge, especially for the teams that they're going to play, especially in the NFC North. With the Lions, obviously. And you saw what they did to the Lions. And the Bears with Caleb Williams. And the Vikings with J.J. McCarthy. You get to J.J. McCarthy, you win that football game whenever they play the Minnesota Vikings. So if you're able to rush the passer with 4 and you don't have to blitz, oh, man. The Green Bay Packers are looking scary, people. They are looking scary. Washington, again, I think this was just a matter of Green Bay looks really, really, really good, more than it was Washington looks really bad. Now, obviously, I think the Packers made the Commanders look as bad as they did because of how good of a football team that is. Doesn't change the fact that the Commanders did not look very good on Thursday. They did not. Jane Daniels could get anything going. They had 112 yards of offense going into the fourth quarter. Hold on. I don't think people in the back heard me. Let me say it one more time for the people in the back who were not listening. The Washington Commanders had 112 yards of offense going into the fourth quarter. I don't think people understand that. If you're a team that is looking to contend for a Super Bowl, the Washington Commanders were in the NFC Championship last year. So that's a team I'd imagine is looking to compete for a Super Bowl, especially with Jane Daniels going into year 2. Before you have to pay him all this money that he is going to get eventually, you're looking to build the team, build the roster to contend right now before Jane Daniels takes up all that money. This is the perfect opportunity. So you're looking to compete for a Super Bowl. If you're looking to compete for a Super Bowl, the Packers are a team you're going to have to face. And if that's what you look like in the regular season, you could very, very well look just like that in the playoffs. So the fact that the Commanders look like that against the competition that is the Green Bay Packers is a little worrisome. Again, it's early in the season, I know. But early in the season, there are going to be overreactions. That's just what it is. It's always been that way. It will probably always be that way. I've been saying since last year. Now, last year, it kind of bit me in the behind because, like I said, the Commanders made it to the NFC Championship. But Cliff Kingsbury, the Commanders' offensive coordinator, he seems to get figured out. As long as he's been in this league, when he first came into the league with Arizona, people figured him out. Jane Daniels. Now, people might say, oh, he's starting his sophomore slump. I don't think that's the case. He looked just fine against the Giants. He looked like he picked up where he left off last year. My bigger concern is Cliff Kingsbury. Is his offense going to become more predictable, which puts Jaden Daniels in more of a predicament to go out and make plays on his own, off schedule? Because if the defense knows what's coming, that forces Jaden Daniels to go out and make a play. because you can't plan for that. There's no play for off script plays. That's why they're called off script. So Cliff Kingsbury is going to have to get creative. He's going to have to really step up his play calling game this season. Again, with Jane Daniels going into his second year. So he's supposed to get even better than what he was last year. He won the Offensive Rookie of the Year. He was a Pro Bowler last year. He's supposed to get even better from year 1 to year 2. In game 1 against the Giants, we saw that. In game 2 against the Packers, much, much better competition. That was not the case. Not the case at all. Like I said, I think it's too soon. It's too soon to call this struggle from Jane Daniels a sophomore slump. We're 2 games in. Again, the competition was raised. Although I expect Jane Daniels to rise up to said competition later in the season, I'll let it slide. I won't give him a bunch of crap for losing to the Packers on Thursday night on a short week in Green Bay. You can have a pass. But playoff time comes around, late in the season come around when these games really, really matter. And if you perform like this, Jane Daniels, can you step into my office? We need to have a chat. Until then, we'll see. I'll let it slide. We'll see. We'll see how it turns out. The defense for Washington, they looked their age though. They looked their age against Green Bay. You go out, you already have Bobby Wagner. You bring in Von Miller. Deron Payne is fantastic. But Marshawn Lattimore, he couldn't keep up with any of those young wide receivers. Before Jane Reed got hurt, Jane Reed was having his way with them. He wasn't hanging with Romeo Doubs. Marshawn Lattimore looks his age. He hasn't been good in 3 or 4 years. Bobby Wagner is getting older. Von Miller is obviously older. That defense looked its age against the Green Bay Packers last night. They did. That's the worrisome part about the Commanders. I thought they would put up a better fight, but that is where I'm worried with the Commanders. That is where I'm starting to look twice. Excuse me, sir. Hey, Bobby. Vaughn, you awake yet? Are you just saving your energy? You pulling a LeBron? You saving all your energy for the playoffs? Let me tell you something. You got to make it to the playoffs in order to play in the playoffs. And the division you play in is not easy. You have the Eagles, who just won the Super Bowl and beat you in the NFC Championship. And you have the Cowboys, who, again, I believe the Commanders are better than the Cowboys. But the Cowboys are also not a pushover. They have some talent over there, as they usually do. So these guys are going to have to pick it up, especially defensively, because the offenses that they're going to be going against are going to be young, they're going to be fast, they're going to be explosive. And if the Commanders' defense can't keep up with them, that spells nothing but trouble for the Commanders' future this season. So that Commanders' defense is going to have to adjust. They're going to have to, or else put it in the bag, tie it up, throw it in the garbage. All right. Saw this conversation on the internet. 2024 obviously was a loaded draft class, specifically for the quarterback position. And the question was, if there were a redraft in terms of the first 6 quarterbacks that were drafted, how would you draft them? Now, obviously, the first 3 picks were Caleb Williams, Jayden Daniels, and Drake May. And then later were Michael Penix Jr. and Bo Nix and JJ McCarthy. So what I'm going to do right now is, after their rookie year, I'm going to rank them. I'm going to rank the 2024 draft class. So if I were to redraft the 6 quarterbacks, the first 6 quarterbacks in the 2024 draft class, I'm going to go 6-1. I'm going to go 6-1. This is how I would rank them / redraft them. And number 6, I have JJ McCarthy. The thing about JJ McCarthy is, obviously, he missed his first season. He tore his meniscus in his rookie year, did not play at all, didn't play a single snap. He played his first regular season NFL football on Monday night against the Chicago Bears. For the first 3 quarters, looked like he needed to go back to Michigan and get some more reps in. That's what it looked like. That he looked like the lights were too bright. He looked nervous. He looked shook at Soldier Field playing against Chicago. He did not look good. Now, to his credit, in that fourth quarter, oh boy, was he great. JJ McCarthy was fantastic in that fourth quarter. 3 touchdowns, 2 passing, 1 rushing, and led the Vikings to a comeback win. He was really good. But he is 6 on my list. In terms of the first 6 quarterbacks that were drafted in 2024, he is 6 on my list. Now, I was skeptical on him coming out of college. Yeah, I understand. I'm a Buckeyes fan, and he went to Michigan. Yes, I understand that. Bias aside, I was skeptical of him coming out in the draft. The number one thing I was skeptical of was he was a game manager in college. I mean, let's put it like it is. He was a game manager. Michigan had a phenomenal run game. A phenomenal run game. The year that they won the championship, they had a phenomenal run game. They had Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards toting the rock. They had a very, very good offensive line, a dominant offensive line, and a quarterback whisperer in Jim Harbaugh. Now, he has another one in Minnesota. I'll give him that right now. Kevin O'Connell is a quarterback whisperer. That is a coach that a lot of quarterbacks love playing for. And through week 1, JJ McCarthy looked like he's taking advantage of it. So that was the only thing. I will say he made plays when he had to, when he was at Michigan. He absolutely did. He was a big reason why they won the national championship. But he's going to have to do that in the NFL. He's going to have to make plays in the NFL when plays break down, when there's no run game, when you can't get anything going on the ground. He's going to have to go win you a game, and I just don't know if he could do that at the highest level. I don't. Now, again, I understand he's played 1 game. And he had a huge part in winning that game. The pick 6 he threw, not going to do it. The pick 6 he threw on Monday night is going to spell trouble. It really is. Now, again, I give you credit for the 3 touchdowns. You cannot throw a pick 6. So that really hurted me. You got to protect the football. Yeah, so JJ McCarthy's number 6 on my list. Again, I'm not saying he's not going to be good in the NFL. I'm not saying he's going to be the greatest of all time. And just in terms of the 6 quarterbacks, the first 6 quarterbacks that were drafted in 2024, he is 6 on my list. Now, a lot of people might disagree with me on this next one. I know this guy made the playoffs last year. He had a pretty decent year. Number 5, I have Bo Nix. Bo Nix. He has a lot of upside. He does. Bo Nix has a lot of upside, especially working with a guy like Sean Payton, who didn't make Drew Brees what he is, but had a big part in what Drew Brees was and how great he was. Bo Nix is a very, very good system quarterback. That's what I can tell so far. He's a very, very good system quarterback. He can make throws. He is accurate. He has a strong arm, and he can make plays when he needs to make plays. So you give him the right situation, and it looks like he's in a very, very good situation right now. He has a fantastic defense. He has a pretty good run game. They just drafted R.J. Harvey, the Broncos did. He looks like he's in a very good situation. Again, you have Sean Payton on your team. He's coaching you. He's coached the greats, one of them being Drew Brees, like I just mentioned. He's in a very good system. The biggest thing to me, again, out of these 6 quarterbacks, is he has the highest floor. He has the highest floor out of all 6 of them. I'll tell you that right now. He has the highest floor out of all 6 of them. But he also has the lowest ceiling. In my opinion, he has the lowest ceiling of all the 6 quarterbacks, or the first 6 quarterbacks that were drafted in 2024. I just think he's going to be that consistent guy every year. He's never going to throw for 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns, but he's also not going to give you 2,800 yards and 15 touchdowns and 17 interceptions. Like, he's not going to be that guy. He's going to be the 3,500 yard guy. He throws for 22, 23 touchdowns, throws 10, 11 interceptions. He's going to be that consistent guy that is just always you can always count on him. You can always expect him. You always know what he's gonna do. You always know what he's gonna do. Bo Nix, I think, again, he has the highest floor, but he also has the lowest ceiling of all these guys. And that's why I have him at number 5. And number 4, I have Michael Penix Jr. Michael Penix Jr. Now, I loved watching Michael Penix Jr. at Washington. Him taking his team to the national championship, obviously losing to JJ McCarthy in that game against Michigan. But what he was able to do that year and the journey that he's been on, I really, really like his game. He's experienced. He's got one of my favorite things about Michael Penix Jr. is his football IQ. His football IQ is off the charts. He's a smart football player. He knows what to do with the football. He protects the football for the most part. He's not too reckless with it. He was only sacked. He played 5 games last season. He played 5 games. He was sacked 4 times in those 5 games. So he's getting rid of the football, and he's getting rid of the football quickly. He was very, very good in week 1 against Tampa Bay. Should have had the game-winning touchdown if the receiver, I forget who it was. I mean, I don't know if it was Darnell Mooney or Ray McLeod. Should have had a game-winning touchdown throw. That was a perfect throw at the end of that game. That was a perfect throw at the end of that game. And then, of course, they're down by 3, and Younghoe Koo, one of the most reliable kickers in the NFL the past few years, and of course, he shanks it. Michael Penix Jr. did everything he could to go win that game in Tampa Bay, or against Tampa Bay. He did everything he could to go win that game. He was fantastic. He 298 yards, a touchdown, a QBR of 83.7 out of 100. He was really, really good. And it wasn't against a slouch. It was not against a slouch. That was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers who won the division last year and won the division the year prior. That is a good football team he just played against. An absolutely good football team. A division opponent. Again, Tampa Bay has a very good defense. Todd Bowles is a defensive-minded head coach, so you know that defense is running around with his head on fire. So again, it's not like he did this against some slouch team. No, Michael Penix Jr. was really, really good in this game. And I think that is just a flash of what's to come. Michael Penix Jr. has all the potential in the world. There's a reason why the Falcons went out and drafted this guy with the 7th overall pick after signing Kirk Cousins to a 4-year, $180 million deal. That's how much they like this guy. They must have had Michael Penix very, very high on their board. Because again, that same offseason, you go sign Kirk Cousins to a huge deal and then take Michael Penix Jr. in the first round. And he's showing you why he made them take them in the first round. He was so very good against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And that's why I have him at number 4. So with more opportunity, because it's not like he's going to lose his job. Unless he just throws interception after interception, loss after loss. Like unless that something drastic like that happens, Michael Penix Jr. is not going to lose his job. So he's only going to get more opportunities to get more experience, to get more reps. And he's going to take advantage. Watch what I tell you. Watch what I tell you. And number 3. Now, again, with this list, you can obviously imagine who the top 3 are, right? It's just the order in which they are put in from the first 6 quarterbacks that were drafted in the 2024 class. Number 3, I have Drake May. Drake May is ridiculously talented. He can throw the ball. He can he could throw with ball accuracy. He could throw the ball with velocity. There's really nothing he can't do. The next development step for Drake May, I think, is up here. It's the mental game. I think that's the next step for Drake May. But physically, there's nothing this guy can't do. He's fast. He's a dual threat guy. The thing that worries me the most so far with Drake May is the turnovers. Drake May did not do a very good job of protecting the ball in his limited games last year, but he needs to do a better job of that going forward. With the fumbles, he threw 10 picks last year in 13 games, so that was a little worrisome. He's got to do better. He's got to do better in terms of protecting the football. But he's ridiculously talented. He's going to be a top 10 quarterback in this league. Maybe not this year, maybe not next year, eventually. That's how talented this guy is. Obviously, he's got big shoes to fill. He's not the immediate guy after Tom Brady, but this is the guy you took third overall. So you're looking for him to take that jump. You're looking for him to fill some sort of shoes and take you back to the playoffs to compete for a Super Bowl again. That's what Patriots fans are expecting after winning 6 Super Bowls with Brady. Now, of course, is he going to be Brady? I doubt it. I doubt we'll ever see another Tom Brady. But he's got to be productive. He's got to be productive. But yeah, Drake May, number 3. He's fun to watch, man. He's fun to watch. Number 2, Caleb Williams, the number 1 overall pick in the 2024 draft. He is not only one of the most talented QBs of this draft class, he's one of the most talented quarterbacks in the NFL. That's how good this guy is. I mean, there is not a throw he can't make. He has so much velocity behind his throw. He's very accurate. He's fun to watch. He is, some of just the sidearms he throws. He is a good football player. The number one thing to me is he has to get rid of the football faster. That's where he has to improve. He has to make decisions faster, whether he wants to run the ball, whether he wants to throw the ball away, whether he has to make those decisions faster. He was sacked 68 times last year. 68. That is the 3rd most in the modern era in one season. 68 times. Now, his offensive line was not very good last year. No, they weren't. They were not very good. But not all of those sacks were on the offensive line. I'll tell you that right now. Not all of those sacks were on the offensive line. Caleb Williams likes to hold the ball. Caleb Williams likes to hold the ball for whatever reason. And that's what killed him last year. I think that's really what hurt him a lot of the times, because you hold the ball trying to make a play. At USC, he's running around. He's evading these defensive linemen. He's faster than a lot of these guys. He can do a spin move to juke him. The problem is, at the NFL level, everybody's good. Everybody's fast. Everybody's strong. And everybody is a professional. That's not the case at college. That's just not. And so that's what he's going to have to do. He's going to have to adjust. He's going to have to realize, okay, these guys are pretty good too. These defensive linemen is pretty good too. Aiden Hutchinson, that's a pretty good guy. He can play some football. Micah Parsons, he's pretty fast. He can move a little bit. He's going to have to get better. He's going to have to get better with. He's pretty good protecting the football. He's not a turnover machine, which maybe is the reason why he wanted to hold on to the ball for so long, because he didn't want to turn the ball over. But he's going to have to get rid of the ball. He's going to have to make quicker decisions, and he's going to have to become more consistent. We saw flashes of what Caleb Williams' talent is last season. We saw ridiculous games from him. We saw him make plays. But he's going to have to do that on a consistent level. That is also the next step for Caleb Williams, because we can see you making all these great plays. We see you do the sidearms and the flips and all the spin moves and all this stuff. Can you do it consistently, and can you do it to win? Those are the 2 big things with Caleb Williams. Can you do it consistently, and can you do it to win? That is the next step for Caleb Williams. But he is number 2 in terms of the ranking of the 2024 quarterback draft class. Number 1, this should be obvious. There is no debate about it. If you have anybody else at number 1, don't ask me about football. Don't have a conversation with me about football. Number 1 is Jaden Daniels. Number 1 is Jaden Daniels. Now, I shouldn't have to explain why. You saw his rookie season. You saw how amazing he was in his rookie season, not only individually, but where he took his team last season. Jaden Daniels is, he can do everything. He is a dual threat. He can absolutely run. He is so fast. He makes quick decisions. He's efficient. He had a 69% completion percentage last year. So he's efficient. He completes a lot of his passes. He protects the ball. He he threw 25 touchdowns to only 9 interceptions last year. Would you say that's pretty good? I'd say that's pretty good as a rookie. And again, he's only going to get better. He's only going to get better. He was a Pro Bowler last year. He was the Offensive Rookie of the Year. He was 7th in MVP voting, so he got some MVP votes. Jane Daniels was really good, and he's only going to get better. And he knows how to win. He knows how to win. He did it last year. Now, he didn't win the whole thing. I understand that. But he's got experience now. He's got experience in the playoffs. And deep playoff experience at that. He made it to the NFC Championship last year and played well in the process. Beat the number 1 seed Detroit Lions in a shootout. It's not like it was an ugly offensive game. Now, did anybody show up to play defense? Absolutely not. But in a shootout, Jane Daniels came out on top. Jane Daniels, the rookie. The rookie. That's how good Jane Daniels was last year. And he's only getting better. Jane Daniels is the best quarterback from the 2024 draft class. If you have a difference of opinion, you can argue with your mama and then argue with the wall. Because that's just nonsense if you think otherwise. All right, let's move on. It's another topic I saw. And I thought this would be really interesting to discuss. When you look at the top 4 quarterbacks in the NFL, I think it's I think everybody believes the top 4 quarterbacks in whatever order you may put them in, but it is Patrick Mahomes, it is Joe Burrow, it is Lamar Jackson, it is Josh Allen. Those are the top 4 quarterbacks in the NFL. There is one common denominator between 3 of those guys. That common denominator is that 3 of those guys do not have a Super Bowl ring. So the question I'm asking is who would benefit the most? Whose legacy would benefit the most from a Super Bowl ring? Between Josh Allen, between Joe Burrow, and between Lamar Jackson. All 3 guys have a very strong case. All three. When you talk about Joe Burrow, who's been to a Super Bowl, who's been to an AFC Championship, who's beaten Patrick Mahomes in said AFC Championship, who's played very well in the playoffs, Joe Burrow has a very strong case. The thing is, he doesn't have the accolades. If you were to get a Super Bowl ring this year, that would automatically put him above Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. It wouldn't even be a debate. That would automatically put him above Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. But it wouldn't give him enough space in between those guys for them not to catch up in terms of all-time quarterbacks. That's my biggest thing about Joe Burrow. If you were to get a ring right now, at this moment, it would put him above those 2 other guys who have not won a ring. But it would not put him far ahead enough in which they would not be able to catch up with a Super Bowl ring of their own. So that's why I don't think Joe Burrow would benefit the most from out of these 3 guys from a Super Bowl ring. When you look at Josh Allen, it's closer than you think, but there are some reasons. There are some reasons why it would help his legacy out so much. He just won his first MVP. Okay, he just won his first MVP, and even though some people forget, Buffalo is in New York, and you know how the New York sports media is. They are very, very overreactory, if that's a word. They overreact to everything. They are, again, they hold everything. They look at everything with the magnifying glass and break it down. And so if Josh Allen were to bring a Super Bowl to New York, oh man, his legacy would skyrocket. Now that he has the MVP, he's been an All-Pro. He would be, especially what Buffalo's been through. They've gone through some tough days. Losing the 4 Super Bowls in a row, however many years ago that was. and being a poverty franchise for most of the 2000s, like they've gone through a lot. And for Josh Allen to come in and be their savior and bring them back to the promised land would be amazing. Still, I don't think it would benefit him the most in terms of whose legacy it would be most important to between Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Joe Burrow. I still think Lamar Jackson would still be able to catch up to him with his Super Bowl ring of his own. Which now takes me to Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson would absolutely, absolutely benefit the most from a Super Bowl ring in between these three guys. Lamar Jackson get a Super Bowl ring, he is an all-time great. That's what it is. Lamar Jackson gets a Super Bowl ring, he is at the very least a top 15 quarterback to ever play this game. And I'll be 10. So dare I say top 10? Dare I say top 10? And he hasn't even been in the league for 10 years. If he wins a Super Bowl ring, he is a top 15, borderline top 10 quarterback to have ever played this game of football. He is one of the most talented. He is the best runner of the football at the quarterback position we have ever seen. He has all the accolades. He has 2 MVPs. He has 4 Pro Bowls. He is a 3-time first team All-Pro. I mean, the only blemish that's on this guy's record is his playoff success or lack of it. In his regular season career, 75 and I'm sorry, in his regular season career, 70 and 25. That's his record. He has won 70 games and only lost 25. That's his regular season record. Lamar Jackson is fantastic in the regular season. I can't name 5 better football players in the world in the regular season. Let's take a look at his playoff record in his career. He's 3-5. He's 3-5. Not a great look. Not a great look for a player as great as Lamar Jackson. He's 3-5 in the playoffs. In the regular season, he has a passer rating of 102.3. 102.3. For a guy that people were calling a running back made quarterback, a 102.3 passer rating, not too shabby. Problem is, in the playoffs, that drops it to an 84.6. That is what is that? 18 points. That's an 18-point drop in passer rating from the regular season to the playoffs. And for whatever reason, John Harbaugh and that Ravens offense continues to try to make Lamar Jackson a pocket passer in the playoffs. That's not what he is. Now, can he do that? Yes. Yes, he can. I don't care what you say. Lamar Jackson can throw from the pocket. Is that what he is best at? No. No, his best part of the game is not in the pocket. It is getting outside of the pocket, running, making plays with his legs. That is the best part of his game. That is what has made him so successful in the regular season. And for the little success that he's had in the playoffs, that is what has helped him become that success, that Lamar Jackson, that guy. Lamar Jackson is starting to become, if he has not already become, the NFL's James Harden. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Lamar Jackson is becoming or has already become the NFL's version of James Harden. He cannot win the big game. He hasn't been able to win the big game, even when he's gotten opportunities to win the big game. Doesn't perform very well in said big game. And he gets beat by the same guy every year. For the most part. This past year, it was Josh Allen. Josh Allen outplayed him. Josh Allen won the MVP. Josh Allen just beat him again. Lamar Jackson, for whatever reason, has not been able to win the big game when it matters the most. Do you know who else could not do that? His name rhymes with Farden, and he has a big old beard. They are very similar. And I will say, a ring to James Harden's career may very well just be the same amount of impact as a ring would be to Lamar Jackson's career. That's how much Lamar Jackson would benefit from a Super Bowl ring. Now, I hope he gets that ring. Boy, I hope he gets that ring. But he's going to have to perform when it matters the most. Quite frankly, haven't seen him do it. Haven't seen him do it. I'm not saying he can't do it. I just haven't seen him do it. That's what it is. That's what it is. So if you ask me who would benefit the most from a Super Bowl ring between Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, and Joe Burrow, my answer would be Lamar Jackson. Let's move on. This is something I want to start doing every week. I'm hoping to get out 2 episodes a week. One on Wednesday, one on Saturday, one reacting to the NFL week, and one looking ahead to the NFL week. So right now I'm going to make some picks. I'm going to make some picks in terms of some games that I'm looking at, and some games, if you are a betting man, or a betting woman, this is a game that you could look at. This is a game where you could look at and possibly make some money. I'm here to help out. You know what? I'm the community man. You betting? I want to help you make some money. I'm trying to help some brothers out. You know what I'm saying? You looking for picks to make? You come this way. You come to Gumball. You come to Gumball Sports Machine. That's where you look if you need some picks, and you're gonna get them right about now. Now, I have 3 different areas, 3 different categories of picks that I'm going to take you through. I'm calling it the locks, I'm calling it the sleepers, and I am calling it the that's tough picks. Now, the locks are the team that I just absolutely think is going to win. It's not going to be the easiest game. Like this week, it could have been. I could have told you the Ravens are going to beat the Browns. That's obviously, or the Bills are going to beat the Jets. I mean, those aren't tough. Okay. But I do want, like I said, I want you to make some money. You're not going to make any money betting on the Bills. You're not going to make any money betting on the Ravens to beat the Browns. It's not it. It's not the case. I know I don't bet, but I know how the betting game works. Now, let me give you a lock that you could possibly make some money on. Give me the Patriots over the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins, their locker room might be worse than the 2024 Suns right now. When apparently they were punching people and hitting each other, and nobody like each other in that Miami Dolphin locker room. I'll tell you that right now. Tyreek Hill is being accused of a bunch of stuff, and already said that he was out last season and then took it back. And apparently him and Tua don't like each other. That locker room is a mess. The Patriots are up and coming. They didn't look great this past weekend against Vegas. They did take the L to Geno Smith and the Las Vegas Raiders. I think they're going to be looking to bounce back. That Raiders defense is not awful. It's not great, but it's not awful. Drake May did have a decent game. He threw a pick, but he threw for, I believe, almost 300 yards, about 287 touchdown. So he wasn't, amazing, but he made some plays. And I think this Miami defense is so much worse than that Raiders defense. I don't think this Miami Dolphins defense is anything to worry about. The secondary is awful. They traded Jalen Ramsey. Mika Fitzpatrick is one of the best safeties in football. He can't do everything. And you saw what Danny Dimes just did to that defense. So give me the Patriots over the Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins are favored in this game. I don't know how. Maybe it's because they're at home, but they're favored by 1.5 points. I would take the Patriots in this game. I think Tua is going to turn the ball over a few times. I think the Patriots defense is pretty good. They're going to get to Tua. They're going to put some pressure on him. So, and I think also Travion Henderson, the rookie, is going to have a big game. I think the Patriots could run all over that Miami defense. So give me the Patriots. Again, I think that's a lock. I think the Patriots come out with a win in Miami out of Hard Rock Stadium with a W on Sunday. Now, here's the sleeper. Here is the sleeper, the underdog that I believe could absolutely win on Sunday. And that is the Chicago Bears over the Detroit Lions. Now, you may be looking at me, is this guy insane? Is he on something? Does he need to see a doctor? Absolutely not. Caleb Williams looked decent on Monday. He didn't look great. The first quarter, he looked really, really, really good. Now, he kind of fell off a cliff at that first quarter, but he made some plays. And you can see the progression in his game. He's not just flinging it everywhere. He's getting rid of the ball a little quicker. So you can see the progression in his game. I think he's going to take another step this week in Detroit. He obviously had that weird ending to the game last year in Thanksgiving against Detroit in Detroit. I think he's going to be come back looking for blood. I think he is going to be aggressive, and I think he's going to be upset about this loss against Minnesota, and he's going to be coming back with a vengeance. Um, on the Lions side of things, I you never know what you're going to get from Jared Goff. No matter what defense he's playing against or who is on the field, you never know what you're going to get from Jared Goff. Just like in that playoff game last year against the Commanders, he was not good. Turned the ball over a bunch, which caused them to lose the game. Um, that's the thing with Jared Goff. They did not look good at all against Green Bay in week 1. Jared Goff didn't look good. Isaac Tesla looked pretty good. The rookie, he obviously had that ridiculous one-handed catch. And Ben Johnson's coming back to Detroit already. It's week 2. He's making his return to Detroit. He's getting his revenge game. It's not like they left on bad terms. But you always want to play well. You always want to coach well against a team that you were formerly a part of. I think Ben Johnson is going to, I think he's going to put on a show in terms of play calling. I think he's going to put on a play calling show against the Lions to really show them what they're missing. Again, not like they left on bad terms, but I think he's going to want to go back to Detroit and put on a show. So that could be a sleeper. That is what you could bet on and probably make a little bit of cash off of that game. So that's another game. Let me give you the tough game, the really, really, really tough game that I even had some struggles looking at. Sunday Night Football. Give me the Minnesota Falcons. Give me the Atlanta Falcons over the Minnesota Vikings in Minnesota. I love the way that Michael Penix played in week 1 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I loved watching him play football. He looked smart. He looked like he got better. He looked like he is progressing. He made some plays. And again, that's a game I believe they should have won if the receiver goes up the field and catches the ball. That ball is in the end zone. That ball is perfectly thrown, and it just wasn't caught. Obviously, I don't know what the receiver was doing. He just stopped in the middle of his route. But aside from that, he looked really good. He looked really good. The Falcons are filled with weapons. Bijan Robinson looks like the best back in football. He looks unstoppable. He looks untackleable. He looks insane. Obviously, you go into this game with Drake London. You go into this game with Kyle Pitts. So there is a lot of weapons on that Falcons offense. The defense should be able to hold up. They have some pieces over there. The secondary is not too bad. You still have Jesse Bates, who's one of the better safeties in football. You still have AJ Terrell, who's one of the better corners in football. The front seven looks a little sketchy to me in terms of the Atlanta Falcons. That's the part I'd worry about. The Vikings might be able to run the ball a little bit, especially the way that Jordan Mason was running the ball on Monday night against the Bears. They're going to be able to run the ball a little bit on the Falcons. So that's the part that worries me a little bit. I do still like the Falcons in this game. JJ McCarthy, he's gonna throw you a few. He's going to throw the other team a few balls, just like he threw the pick six. He threw the pick six to Chicago to a third string corner and took it back to the house. He's going to throw you a few. You're just going to have to catch it. It's going to be up to Jesse Bates to catch it and AJ Terrell to catch it, and that the rest of that secondary to catch him when he does inevitably throw them to them. I think that's going to be the thing. This is going to be JJ McCarthy's first home game. It's going to be on Sunday night. The bright lights. It's going to be on national TV. Again, he was on Monday night. I understand that on the road. Went and came back against the Bears in the fourth quarter and won. It's gonna be he's gonna have another opportunity under the lights. I think it's gonna be a great game. I'm looking forward to watching this game. I think this is one of the more underrated games in week 2. So I'm definitely looking forward to watching this fight and this bout. Again, the secondary should at least put up a fight. against Justin Jefferson. He is one of the two best receivers in football, whether you have Chase first and Jefferson second, or Jefferson first and Chase second. He's one of the two best receivers in football, and I think they should be able to put up a fight against Justin Jefferson. So I do like Atlanta in this game. So those are my 3 game picks for this week. If you use them, let me know. And if you don't hit on them, I'm gonna turn my phone off. So you can't, so I can't see anything. So go ahead and live with that. All right, and finally, for you betting fiends, for you gambling fiends out there, I'm here to help you out. Like I said, I'm here to help some brothers out, make some money. You know, if you're betting on sports, you come to Gumball, okay? That's what I'm here for, okay? You come to me, you looking for help, you want some picks, I'm your guy. So not only am I picking some games for you guys, I am making some parlay picks. Some of the picks I made. First one was CeeDee Lamb over 80 reception yards versus the Giants in Jerry's World. CeeDee Lamb obviously had a few drops in that week 1 game against the Eagles, and he is still torn up about it. He said as much the other day, saying that he couldn't sleep over it. He was losing sleep. He was thinking about it all the time. He's coming back looking for a vengeance. And that Giants defense has nobody to cover CeeDee Lamb. And Dak Prescott always seems to have a field day against the Giants, especially at the crib in Jerry's World. So give me CD for over 80 reception yards. Caleb Williams, I talked about them possibly upsetting the Detroit Lions. Give me Caleb Williams for over 220 pass yards. I think, like I said, I think Ben Johnson is going to dial it up this game. I think he's going to give Caleb Williams some really, really good play calls to work with. And Caleb Williams, being as talented as he is, being as good as he is, supposed to be making that year 2 jump. I think he's going to show it this week in Detroit against the Lions. So give me Caleb Williams for over 220 pass yards. And finally, Josh Allen, the first touchdown scorer in this game against the Jets in New Jersey. So he's going to, I'm sure he's going to find a way to run the ball in, or, he's give me Josh Allen for the first touchdown. Again, that the Jets defense isn't awful. They have some guys. I really like Quinnen Williams. Sauce Gardner just got paid. Josh Allen is Josh Allen. He's Josh Allen. Give me Josh Allen to score the first touchdown of the game in the Jets stadium in MetLife. So those are my 3 picks. CeeDee Lamb for over 80 reception yards. Caleb Williams for over 220 passing yards at the Lions, and Josh Allen to score the first touchdown of the game against the New York Jets. And that is going to close out this episode of Gumball Sports Machine. I hope you all enjoyed. Again, I know it was just me today. I know I'm solo dolo by myself, lonely, donely. This guy out of It's okay. You look at my beautiful face and you accept it and you enjoy it. That's what you're going to do, whether you like it or not. Okay, I'm sorry. Please like it. You know what? Send some by myself today. I'll have to do it on myself. Like and subscribe. Did you hear D-Lo say that? Did you hear Tony say that? That was them. They're not here, but they said it in spirit. I hope you all enjoyed the video. I love you. You matter. You have value, and you're still here. You woke up this morning. You just find your value. You find your purpose. And once you do, I promise life will get so much better, so much happier, and so much more fun. And as always, it's nice to be important, but it's much more important to be nice. I'm Gumball. I'll see you guys Wednesday. Happy football week 2. Let me know how the picks go. I love y'all. I'm out. Gotta find my way to